誰に向かって口聞いてんだ、このドアホが。待たせて。
He's hella hot. Our circumstances, even the worst of circumstances, too shall change and get better over time. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated licensed psychotherapist and your favorite yapper. Welcome to my detailed psychological analysis of Horimiya, episode 8. Shout out to all the 37 and growing yappers. Much appreciated from the bottom of my heart. Remember, you are worthy, you matter. Sit back and hope you enjoy today's video. Golden hours?
ここにいたんだ。体育。
Who this?
そっ
What?
か。
Who is this?
そういえばそうだったね。俺、楽しそうなやつ。
Who is this?
嫌い。
Oof.
意味なく
Alright.
自分が否定されてる気分になるから。休み時間も嫌い。自分がクラスで孤立してるってみんなに主張してる気分になるから。
A lot of
先生
sense.
も嫌い。
Hmm.
なんて何一つなかったんだよな。
True.
俺、誰にも必要とされてないよね。
Oh, jeez.
死ぬのはやめた方がいいかも。もう少ししたら一人友達ができるよ。すごくうざいけど。
Shindo?
あ
Shout
と背
out.
の高い人のいい男子に明るい男子、友達思いの女子。生徒会長と仲良し二人組。
Oh, I was like, wait, because at first of all, it was golden hour, but then we're starting the episode with a lot of cynicism, even despair and hopelessness, because we don't want to think about suicide or struggle with suicidality, taking our own life without hopelessness and despair. Just because we're depressed, just because we're sad, just because we're anxious, those mental conditions and struggle don't necessarily necessitate suicidal gestures and struggle. In fact, according to suicide prevention literature, since you guys know, suicide prevention is one of my specialties and something extremely close to my heart because of my veteran background, and I've lost enough combat buddies to suicide and other struggles. And of course, in my daily forensic clinical practices, I also work with clients who struggle with suicidality. And of course, suicide is end all be all. Death is the ultimate equalizer and constant. But in some sense, suicide is preventable because the ripple effect, the ripple destructive effect of suicide ripples through and permeates through the remaining members. So it's something I'm very passionate about. And it's something that we must interrupt and change. With that being said, according to the latest clinical research in suicide prevention, when you're the most depressed, actually the suicide risk is quite low. And I know this is a dark topic, but that's how the episode started. And it's actually when your depression gets better, because psychophysiologically, when you're severely depressed, it's hard for one to conjure up the energy and the capacity to actually follow through and do that act of suicide. And so that's why we have to recover to a certain degree from the severe depression point. So psychophysiologically, you recovered energetically and you have more capacity. And when you get better, that's actually the likelihood and the risk for suicidality is actually the highest. And that's very counterintuitive, right? And obviously in my my first video or my first movie reaction, A Silent Voice, I shared over 3 hours of resources, tips, handbook for suicide prevention. So I won't go too much into that in today's video. But back here, despair and hopelessness is very obvious. And I was like, who is this guy? Who is this kid? And obviously the present tense, Izumi is like, just wait a little bit longer. You'll meet Shindo and all these great people. The social support, the meaningful people that brought Izumi out of his darkness. And it hit me that, oh, this is either a flashback or some sort of multiverse, multi-timeline, multi-dimensional scenario and scene where Izumi is talking to himself from the past, his past self. Very, very evocative, provocative start to this episode with the stark contrast of the golden hour. Because golden hour usually symbolizes something beautiful, something great, like hope. So it's interesting. This contrast juxtaposition with hope and hopelessness.
お前みたいなやつを相手にしてくれる友達がたく
Yes.
さんできる。
Amen, brother.
それから、お前のために泣いたり笑ったり、へこん
Yeah.
だり怒ったり、
Hori.
叱ったり。
So this also confirms not just all the trauma that's been revealed for Izumi, but actually even a level deeper. Younger Izumi indeed struggled with suicidality. He thought about taking his own life. Makes sense. I talked about his piercings, tattoos, a lot of these self-inflicted pain, even with the skin real estate, is a way for a lot of folks, especially adolescents, to struggle and to feel alive, to feel that pain. And it is it's healthier coping mechanism than, of course, taking the other very dramatic route, right? So yeah, it's very interesting. And I wonder what is the purpose of this flashback and kickstarting the episode with this. Maybe it's a way for Izumi to reconcile with his progress and recognize the tremendous journey and process and the increased hopefulness that's experienced because he did not give up. And it's really hard for us to fathom that there is hope. There's possibility on the horizon. When we're in this looming dark cloud, feeling suicidal, there's no hope, feeling of this all-consuming, all-encompassing despair. At the same time, this too shall pass. If we just hang on a little bit longer, if we try to stick it through a little bit longer, and enduring through that pain is not easy whatsoever. Of course not. But just a little bit longer, and things will get better. Because change is the only constant. What does that say? Even when we're at the worst state, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, whatever, change is the only constant means our circumstances, even the worst of circumstances, too shall change and get better over time. And of course, professional help and all this psycho-emotional support could expedite that process. But please hang in there. And Izumi is a perfect example for that. He didn't give up. And now his life is amazing and beautiful.
必ずいるから。
Yes.
それが本当なら、俺は。
What a start to this episode. So unexpected.
俺は。
And tears. That was a dream.
あれ何の夢見てたんだっけ堀さんに会いたいな。
Aww. Oh, I get it. Because episode 7 was about the funeral, and obviously Izumi is grieving for that loss of family member. And obviously when there's a loss of life, because it's, again, the impact of not just suicide, any loss of life ripples through. It's in our human nature and also animals' nature. It's both animalistic, because it's all animals' instinct, and our human nature to feel the ripple of grief. That's why I emphasize and talk so much about grief. Grief is a universal experience and emotion that all sentient beings and creatures experience, full stop. And because of that grief, and sounds like ongoing grieving process, I think through that loss of life, Izumi brain and psyche brought back to his younger middle school adolescent days, or even younger, where he contemplated his own loss of life. And that's why he's like, oh, I miss Hori. Because I think in the end of last episode, in that hugging elevator scene, both Izumi and Hori realized, wow, you truly are the light in my life. And they have become each other's solid emotional pillars, aside from their sexual intimacy and literally becoming one at the post-credit scenes of episode 7. So obviously through that increased sexual intimacy, their emotional bond also grew stronger. But I think the beginning of this episode is a portrayal of Izumi's grieving process from that funeral.
とても弱い。とてもとても
Oh yeah, that's about Remy, right? And the student council president. So many parallels.
人を注意するの。本当は苦手なんだよね。
Aww. That's why freaking Hori just stomped all over him growing up until high school.
本当は悔しいんだよね。 男子からも女子からもチヤホヤされるの。苦手なものがたくさんの。
The episode is called The True Deception Reveals. I could already tell this is going to be an amazingly deep episode, emotionally and psychologically. Why? Because we're seeing Izumi's hidden truth about his suicidal struggle back then, which was never revealed until today. Continuing the episode with the student council presence, with Remy's narration that he's weak, he has a lot of anxiety, anxiousness, self insecurities, despite being one of the most popular students at school. Boys and girls fawn over him. Academically stellar. Student council president. Bright future. But even for a person like the student council president, he has his own internal invisible struggle. That is the true deception hidden, right? Because all of us have our insecurities. All of us have our own struggles. I do too, right? I cannot sing for the life of me. And that sounds trivial, but it's not. I get really self-anxious about singing. That's why as a Korean, I don't like going to KTV or karaoke. And if you know about Korean, Filipino, Chinese, or Eastern Asian culture, we love karaoke's. But I hate going to karaoke because I'm very, very, very insecure about my singing, right? A part of it is tone deaf, genetics, and I just don't have a gift for singing, but it's most likely, most importantly, I am tone deaf, right? Because trust me, I looked into it. And obviously right now I've worked through my insecurities and it's not a big deal because I can somewhat match the tone and all that. But does that make sense? Everyone have our own invisible struggle. We're not always sharing everything about us in the outside. Why? Because we all have that secret identity, secret aspect of our lives that we only reserve for the very few, which is a callback and reference to Hori and Izumi in the beginning of the series. They reserved their secret side only to each other, right? A lot of parallels and a lot of callback.
Oh.
Spider.
やだー、戦国くん、立って怖い。俺も怖いって顔。
And the fact that Remy's like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. She didn't sound scared. So that means she's not scared, but she's acting scared to I guess, boost the student council president's self-esteem that, hey, you got this, you can be brave. So it's almost like Remy is teeing up and setting it up for the president to kind of spotlight his courageousness and bravery. Remy is a really, really thoughtful and even perceptive person. And Remy is a really good character. She's a really good person too.
したね。でも
Nice.
頑張ったね。
Aww. Aww. So
私
wholesome.
の好きな人は
Aww.
出会った頃はもっと別の人に見えてたんだよ。
俺さ、綾崎のこと好きなんだよな、結構。超顔小せえの可愛くね。わかる。でも話しづれえよな。ちょっとお高く止まってるっつうか。自分が男子に人気あるの分かってんだろうな。女子の中でも綾崎と河野だけなんか浮いてるよな。月とすっぽんコンビ。
そうかな。二人とも普通だろ。
いや、綾崎超可愛いじゃん。
普通だろ。河野さんも。
Nice. Respect to the president for not engaging in gossip, talking shit and all that. And I'm sure Remy was very happy to hear that he didn't have a crush on that Ayasaki, whatever, Ayaki girl.
さっき授業中に本読んでたでしょ。漫画
Manga?
ゲーって何それ。
ゲーテって人の本。
本の名前じゃないのね。面白い？
綾崎さんも本とか読むの？
さすがに授業中は読まない。
Oh, wait. Oh, Ayasaki is Remy's like first name or last name? Oh, they were talking about Remy. I thought it was another girl.
本は好き。グリム童話とか。
白雪姫とか？
白雪姫とか。
Yeah. Oh. Aww.
だから 他にも見繕ってきた。
Aw.
よかったわね。
I'm dead. The freaking student council president was talking about literally classic literature, and Remy was talking about Snow White. But nonetheless, he is very thoughtful and very considerate and brought her collection of storybooks.
レミ、
Aw.
あ、河野さんもこういうの好き？
え、私？うん。
じゃあ、
Oh, and the other girl, they're saying those two guys who are again engaging gossip and just, you know, not good behaviors. Of course, they're high schoolers. I get it. It was Beauty and the Beast was Remy and, you know, Sakura.
綾崎さんが終わったら読んでみてよ。この本の3本目くらいにある話がさ、面白くて。
ありがとう。
Aww.
どういたしまして。
Look at Remy's glowing. Because remember Remy's heart-to-heart conversation with Sakura in the previous episode? And she's, I want to be strong for you. I want to be strong for the president. And by being strong for you, I also feel stronger myself. It's like such a positive ripple effect. That's why I think Remy took an eye for the presidents. Because like those two guys said, I think only thing valid that those two guys said during their gossip is guys or girls, doesn't matter, gender aside. People who are popular and who are physically attractive, they know they're physically attractive. And they know when other people have crushes on them, right? It's very known and, right, it's not a new thing. The first time that differentiated the president from anyone else is not his physical appearance, it's not his stellar grades and anything between. It's his non-judgmental, wholesome, good character nature. And here, second point, Remy's like, oh my gosh, he not only did not talk shit about my best friend because of the Beauty and the Beast comment, but he's so thoughtful. He's not only giving me the Snow White story collection books because he likes me or whatever, he's also looking out. And his thoughtful gesture also extends to my best friends, Sakura. That's amazing.
これ面白かったよ。
That's why she was glowing with the stars.
じゃあ、
どれくらい持ってるの？
ほとんど親のだよ。一部屋もう書庫みたいになってるから。
そうなんだ。大丈夫。変なことしないから。
え？わかった。
Wow, so books are how Remy visited the president's house for the first time, huh?
すごいたくさん。
掃除してないから埃っぽいかも。気をつけ。ああ、大丈夫？
As soon as she said that.
私も勝手に本触っちゃった。奥の本が気になっちゃって。
Whoa.
ああ、
Looks
それ
aged.
すごい古いやつだよ。
Very
どん
aged.
な話の本？
世界がパニックになるんだ。明日全部終わるって分かってたら、もう何もする気起きないかもな。
One thing I will highlight is this random, very aged book that Remy pulled out. The presidents already knew the premise of the book. What does that suggest? He's probably read most, if not all of the books in this room full of books. It makes sense because only, I guess, benign bullying context that's been revealed is the presidents and Hori. Right? And of course, Hori is not malicious. There's no malice. We know that. So probably similar to Izumi, Izumi had to cope by using piercings and tattoo with the social isolation, bullying, not fitting in and all that, and people's judgments. I'm sure the president went through a similar, of course different, but similar process. And I'm guessing his coping was reading. And when you have a room full of books and you need to cope because of your depressions, bullying, isolation, and struggle, what do? You read those books. It sounds like that's what he did.
そっかな。私お金使い果たしたい。いろんなお菓子食べたい。
お菓子食べるの？
Yeah, why not?
いっぱい買うんだ。
そう。
What would you guys do if you knew you had 24 hours left until the destruction of the world, end of the world scenario? For me, obviously this is not a deeply elaborated answer. This is not a philosophy class or existential psychology. But for me, right now, I'll probably want to just have a big meal with my favorite food, cuisine, with everyone I love. My family, of course, and my best friends. And that to me is probably one of the most meaningful things. Sharing what we love to eat, because food is life, with those that we love. What's more meaningful than that?
なんで今日言ってる位置高い？
となく
Wow,
いいじゃん。
very perceptive.
似合う。
可愛いと何しても可愛いからな。戦国くんにはわからないだろうけど。
話の途中ごめんね。ちょっといい？これありがとう。全部読んだよ。なっちゃった。でも本当に明日地球が終わったらやだな。
お菓子食べるんじゃないの？
お菓子なんて食べてる場合じゃないよ。
She changed her mind? Oh?
神岡、綾崎さんのこと好きなんだって。
そう。ねえ、戦国くんの
Wow, she's like, Kate. And, man, high school drama, dude. Oh, man. Obviously, seeing the presidents getting closer with Remy or Ayasaki, I'm sure all his best friends or closest friends at the time, especially if one has a crush on her, just like any other boys in school, except for, I'm sure, Izumi and the president, because Izumi also didn't really have a crush on Ayasaki. I'm sure bitterness, resentments, right? Envy, jealousy is going to come up. And even now as adults, but especially in high school, adolescence years, girls are one of the fastest way and guaranteed ways to break friendships. If you're immature emotionally, if you don't have that self-awareness, and obviously, of course, it depends on the context. And of course, some friendships, if it's deep enough and meaningful enough, can shield them or prevent them from, the struggle with that love, romance, and all that. But I think the president noticed the glare from his friends. That's why he told Remy. And this also speaks to the truthfulness of the president. Yes, he did not engage in gossip. Great, that is his good character. But also, I think he meant it. I don't think he actually has a romantic or sexual crush on Ayasaki or Remy. Because even in their room, if you look at his facial expression, right? Because as you guys know, as a forensic psychotherapist, reading and observing facial expressions and micro expressions is what I do every single day. His pupils weren't dilated, his eyes weren't enlarged, there's no blushing, there's no sweat. He generally feels neutral with Remy, just as if she's just another classmate, which she is. And here, he's able to tell her that, hey, my friend, he has a crush on you, and he could say that to her because he doesn't mind, because he does not like Remy like that. But of course, Remy's like, okay, not interested, and she doesn't like the president's friends. Why? Because she saw them engaging in gossip and talking shit about Remy's best friend, Sakura.
今日また行っていい？
Aww.
いいよ。でも、綾崎さんは男子と喋り慣れてるからあれかもしんないけど、俺さ、勘違いしちゃうから。
I feel like Remy hears that and he's like, okay, you might be confused about your intention. I will tell you straight up what my intention is. Is this the scene where Remy's gonna confess her interest in him? Obviously, love is a strong word because sounds like they're also like fast friends.
綾崎さん、このシリーズも量が多いから読み応えあると思うよ。
The president, he's also oblivious and completely clueless. Boy, because he is literally a boy. She's not there actually for the books. Come on, pick up the hints. But of course, that speaks to how wholesome and non-agenda the president is.
楽しみ。
Yeah, see? She's not there for the books.
戦国くん、戦国くんってさ、私
I like you.
何？
I'm interested.
なんでも地球明日終わるとしたら戦国くんは何するのかなって
Making small talk.
え、あの本の話？
本っていうか
綾崎さんに告る。そして宇宙の塵となる。終わり。
What? Plot twist. It was the other way around? Wow, I guess Ayasaki I'm just calling Remy. I guess Remy is truly beloved, and almost every guy in the school had a crush on her. Except Izumi, I guess. Izumi, you're the last survivor. Wow, that was unexpected.
からかってるの？
いいえ。いいえ。
It's not a joke. That's why he turns back right away, because he's embarrassed. Oh, she's gonna hug him from behind. See, he's super embarrassed.
なんで
Aww.
照れてるの？
なんでって照れてない。
Look at your face.
嘘など。
Scratch back everything I said about him not liking her. Obviously, he likes her.
照れていない。
Oh man.
レミに
So
はわか
cute.
る。だって
Yeah, dude. Your face is as red as your hair, my man.
はいはい。
ねえねえ。レミも戦後
Oh. Wow. Happened so fast.
俺もレミのこと好きだよ。
Aww.
これありがとう。
That's a parallel with Hori and Izumi's confessions. It was very subtle. Nothing bombastic, nothing extravagant, just like water. Free flowing, very natural, GMO free, organic, case free. Amazing. Great callback and reference.
だから時間余ってね。
What an
そうなんだ。
academic beast.
どうだった？ベストセラーの感動作。昨日読みながら泣い
Wow, Remy, dude, I know I talked about this again, but just one more digital flower for her. She's so perceptive. And despite their fast friendships and fast romantic express lane to their whatever romantic relationship, because it's definitely an express lane, she is already understanding his micro expressions, the discrepancies, the gap between what he's saying and what he's truly feeling, because he's a shy boy, right? Amazing, Remy. Every character in this show is so good, and this truly is a masterpiece. As I shared in Discord channel for the Yappers Only channel, I don't really know my Dress Up Darling is like a classic romance, but I know Horimiya is. And Horimiya is actually my first exposure to romance genre. So I guess I'm being spoiled. Just like my first anime reaction was Frieren Beyond Journey's End Season 1. So I guess I'm spoiled in that sense that I'm being introduced to the romance genre with such a high bar, such a masterpiece.
出会った頃は他人に流されないあなたが好きだった。
Yeah.
頑張り屋さんのところも
Remy likes him for
全部
all
大
of
好きだ
him.
よ。
All of him. That's amazing. That's kind of reflective of like a popular saying, right? If you can't have my back in my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but it's the same sentiment.
なんで急にマニキュア？
なんか部屋の掃除してたら開けてないやつが出てきて宮村に似合いそうだと思ったの。
そ
いかん。
宮村、逆の足。
でも
What?
宮村？
What?
逆
What
の
are you
足出
thinking?
してってば。
Yo, that's his compulsion, that's his urge. He's like, no, I want to put my foot on top of her head. Of course, the deeper aspect about this is their closeness, their emotional safety, psychological safety, and he truly feels so unbelievably comfortable with Hori, the love of his life, that he is able and have the confidence to turn his thoughts and desires and urges into action. We'll see Hori's response and reaction in this.
堀さん踏んだらレベル上がる気がして。
What in the heck?
あれっぱなしだったので今日は自分から攻撃してみようと思ったんです。ごめんなさい、本当ごめんなさい。
いや、そんな怒ってないし。澤田さんの前だとガーッとしてるのに、私の前だとおとなしいから無理してる？こう仮面的な。
いや、こっちが普通だから、本当。
そう。
それともこう堀さんが暴力振るったら怒鳴った方がいい？
いやそんな
Yo, we call that DV, domestic violence, my man. So funny. And of course, Hori's concern is valid. Like, how come you're so different with your boys, your best friends, versus with me, your girlfriends? And of course, this is the thesis. This is the main component and message of this episode. All of us have our different aspects about who we are, right? It's not like a deceptions or hidden aspect out of malice. It's because we all display different parts of ourselves with different people, right? I am 100% me when I'm reacting. But do I laugh a little bit louder than when I do in real life? Yes, because it's still content. I still have to make an income, right? I got to feed my 2 kitties. I have a wife and all that, right? But am I being fake? Of course not. Because you can tell when someone's having fun genuinely. You can tell when someone's smiling genuinely. And I'm sure you guys can tell when I'm genuinely enjoying the show that I'm watching and reacting to, which I do, right? But will I show all of me and all my quirks public online to 30,000 people and all the views? Of course not, right? But does that make sense? So like same here, that's what Hori's speaking, and that's what Izumi's assuring her that, hey, I'm still me. Maybe just a different aspect about me because different context, different social situations demands different sides of us. And it is what it is. You know, that's how humans are. We are complex animals.
てめえこれ今日か誰に向かって口聞いてんだ
いいかも
That's kind of hot.
宮村おはよ
man.
おお盛り上がってんな石川
Why is he talking like that?
俺も好きだけど
Oh. I think he's talking like this. Yo, what up, my dude? I think he's talking like that because Hori's like, oh, that kind of sounds hot. So he's like, oh, maybe let me try it out. What a wholesome couple. What a wholesome show.
俺知らないし
あ、宮村くん。悪いんだけど、スービー貸してくれないか。
しっかりしてくれよな
Even his tone, his voice changed. He's like talking from his stomach versus his chest.
石川くん
They all know.
どうせあれだろ氷の女王の命令だろ
Yo.
石川君マジで
Yo. This is something your ice queen wanted to do. All the guys got it. Instinctive, they're like, oh, you're not being your normal, regular self because, you know, your boss, your executive director, your CEO, your board of advisor, Hori wanted you to do that. And I'm guessing after the, ooh, that's kind of hot. I'm guessing Hori asked Izumi to role play or tap into his beastly instinct, manly's man, with all the scenes that's not been shown.
借りしてくれだからなんで俺
そっか無理だったか
Oh.
じゃあ
暴力的になります
Yo.
本当楽しみにしてる
じゃあ
後でね
昼休みって物理室空いてないんじゃ
ああそうかももう昼休み終わったらパッと行って置いてくるから先生に言っておいて
俺行こうかんこれはもしかしてあれなのかチャンスなのではなんか
ねえねえ
Izumi's overthinking, his anxiety shows up yet again, despite their sexual intimacy, light years they've made and progress into their relationship, intimacy and all that. He still struggled with overthinking. He's still trying to people please. And of course, we all want to please our significant other, especially as a husband, right? All the partners out there get it. At the same time, it still breaks my heart and I still cannot wait for Izumi to truly blossom into his full self, right? But of course, like I said in the beginning of this episode, which is another thesis, we all have our insecurities. The point is not to eradicate insecurities, but rather becoming self-aware and managing them so they do not spill over and impact and even create impairment in our lives, especially in our relationships.
誰に向かって口聞いてんだこのドアホがいちいちなるなるしいんだよ黙ってろ
Of course, divine timing by the writer. Finally, after all that overthinking, internal struggle, he found the courage, because it does demand courage, to summon out his manliest man domineering aspect, that personality, that persona. And of course, in that divine, impeccable timing, two girls walk in and witness this whole domestic violence situation. Oh my gosh, dude. Did not see that coming.
Huh? もう嫌だからね怒鳴るのはこれっきりで堀さん俺わかんねえ
I'm sure Hori is having the blast of her life. I'm sure she's had so much fun. Not just because maybe she genuinely enjoys seeing this alter ego as requested by Hori, but the deeper aspect is Hori appreciates this gesture behind such character. Hori knows deep inside that he's only doing this for her because she likes it. Of course, I will be touched and moved in addition to laughing my ass off, right? Gosh, dude. Oh, what a classic, man. What's going on? Who is that guy?
さあ視聴覚室でパワフルチワ喧嘩が起きた
Rumor spread.
ユキどうかしたうん。
Come on, Yuki, speak your mind. You got this.
それが
Oh,
4日前
wow, I'm glad we're finishing the episode with Yuki's camera time because obviously I talked and analyzed tremendously about Yuki in the previous episode, about her people-pleasing tendency, letting go of their wants, right? All that. So I'm glad Yuki's getting more camera time. And wow, Yuki got confessed to by someone.
待たせすぎ
断るんだ
断るよ知らない人だしなんかねすごい真面目そうな人だったから気がしてさ
Sorry, no dice? I've never heard that saying before. Is that a common saying? Like no dice, like no luck? Oh, so I guess no dice means sorry guy, no luck, like AK nada?
あ誰かに彼氏のふりしてもらうとか
嫌がられるよ
嫌がらないと思うよ
Toru would hate it, but Yuki, you will love it. And what's the update with this triangular relationship with Sakura, Yuki, and Toru, right? Like, I wonder who Toru will get with, and I wonder which girl, Sakura and Yuki, I wonder which of them will maybe profess their feelings first and make that move. And I wonder, because I don't think Toru is that guy who will make that move. That's why it took Toru X amount of years to confess to Hori, but it was too late, right? Because Izumi happened. So I'm also looking forward to that dynamic. So many parallels and so many amazing dynamic that's happening in this show. Great world building, great story development, great character development as well. Very realistic, very awesome, very wholesome.
ちゃんと説明すれば
じゃあね
Nice. He made that
石
move
川
for
君いいっ
Yuki.
てさ
Nice. Man of action.
何俺どうすりゃいいの
Didn't even tell
な
him?
んかイチャイチャしながら見せ
みたいな真似できねえよ
ちょっとホリ
何組のやつ
6組だっけ
うん6組の柳くん
てかさ
柳
吉川俺でいいわけ
その人より通るのがちょっとだけかっこいいから別にいいの
あっそ
That's as honest Yuki can get about Toru in terms of her attraction towards him. You're a little bit hotter than the guy, so it's fine. And Toru's like, bro, thanks. Such flattering.
ちょっとだけ
はいはい
Joto, Joto.
そろそろ行った方がいいんじ
He heard you the first time.
うん堀も来んの ありがとう、ホリ。
じゃあ行くか。
Yo, so she's gonna reject the other guy with a whole entourage of freaking bodyguards, security guards, fake boyfriends. Man.
付き合ってるんでしょ
Hands.
今日は。
Oh, Yuki.
6組ってどんなやついたっけ？
クラス遠いと分かんないね。
Aw.
綾崎さんなら知ってるかな？
Is this foreshadowing that Yuki's the girl that will get with Toru? Oh, then I'll be heartbroken for Sakura too, because she's also awesome. I mean, honestly, it would be a loss, and I'll be sad for either or. I like Yuki, I like Sakura, obviously I like Toru. Yeah, it's a struggle. No matter who Toru gets with, I'll be sad, man.
どうだっけ？
But that today
トー
can
ルは
turn
さ
into、
黙
tomorrow
ってれば
also.
いいから。
そうなの？
なんか変なことに付き合わせてごめん。
ほんとだよ、まったく。だから一個だけ自由にさせて。俺が言ってもいい？こいつは俺の彼女なんでダメです。みたいな。
Yeah. Yeah.
振りだけしてくれればいいのに。
不利だからだろ。
いいよ。好きにすれば。
Ah, she's embarrassed.
よく聞こえん。
Oh, high school.
ごめん吉川さん待たせて。
He's hella hot.
Oh no, he's hot!
And he ran. And he sounds like a nice guy. And obviously, one thing I know for certain is everyone in this show is wholesome, despite what they appear to be. Yo, this is a hot dude. And Yuki said Toru is a little bit hotter. You see? Her feelings were shown. But of course, Toru is just the classic dude. So he didn't pick up on that. But that's why he's shocked. He's like, you think I'm a little bit hotter than this guy? Come on.
先生に呼び出されて。
He is gorgeous. A zillion times. You don't have to say that. Oh, so polite.
名前までかっこいい。
石川と
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh.
そこそこかっこいいはずの宮村がかすぎる。
石川くん彼氏いたんだ。
Oh.
ごめん。
俺だったら断らねえ。吉川のバカ。
If he asks me out, I'll say yes. Oh my goodness, dude. Hey, I have a guy crush list too. I have like a guy celebrity crush list because, like I said, aesthetics, beauty, it's universal.
石川くんの方がずっとかっこいいですし。
やめてくれ。
じゃあ
He's deceased. Toru is deceased.
なんで超かっこよかったじゃん。
かっこよすぎてないし。
俺途中
Just thinking out loud, I wonder, obviously, the most obvious reason why Yuki said no is because she likes Toru. And that is the power of love and affection. It overrides the superficial physicality of someone's physical appearance and attributes. Of course, those matter a lot. But when you actually like someone, all that physicalities, externalities, external stuff pales in comparison to their internal character and then bond, that affection. So that's the obvious reason. But I wonder if there's also a reason of self-insecurity. I wonder if Yuki feels insecure about her, that she feels like she's not worthy of a super hottie like that guy. What do you guys think? You think that's part of the reason? Could be all of the above.
来た心地がしなかった。ビビった。
あんな人いたんだね。
You see a new trend?
柳くん知ってるよ。超かっこよくて面白い人でしょ。
面白い？
Aww.
出なくて。でもそんなに不便でもな。柳
He's
ってこと
blind.
が結構あってね。
Oh.
目が悪いの。すっごく。
そうなんだ。
Wait, did he say that Toru was hotter than he was because he forgot his glasses? Oh my gosh.
あの、
はい。
誰かと間違えてませんか？友達に堀京子って子がいるんです。美人です。その子と間違えてませんか？
なんで？ああ、もしかして僕の目が悪いの誰かから聞いた？
He wore his glasses.
人違いじゃないよ。
Aww.
ずっと見てたから。吉川さんの顔は知ってるけど、その堀さんって子のことは知らないよ。
そうですか。
Aww.
ユキ堀、ごめん、話し中だった？
お、柳くんだ。
堀さん？ちょうどあなたの話をしていたんですよ。吉川さんが美人のお友達がいるって。
あ、どうも宮村です。
そうでしたか。あ、石川くんもいたんですね。
堀です。
He forgot his glasses again.
じゃあこの方は？
先日も会った石川です。
Again, another wholesome guy. Hilarious indeed.
ちょっと目が悪いのよ。
ちょっとなの。
そうです。今吉
Wait, did he just look at the statue and talking to a statue? My man, get some contacts or LASIK.
さんと会ったのは偶然で、別にやましいことはなく。
これです。面白い。
I hope he becomes a common appearance, and I hope he gets enough camera time, and I hope he joins and becomes a part of this group because I'll love to see him more. Absolute comedy gold. Anyway, I know I didn't yap as much in the second half because it was just very wholesome and a lot of the things were pretty obvious. And a lot of my yapping were in the beginning. In fact, the first 4 minutes, I yapped for 18 minutes because there were a lot there. But yeah, this might be, I don't know if it's my favorite episodes because a lot of episodes are super wholesome, but this is one of my favorite episodes because obviously the thesis that all of us have insecurities. And again, our point is not to eradicate them, but learn to manage them by becoming more self-aware and having meaningful group of friends that care about us, that accept us unconditionally helps a lot in that process. Anyway, as always, appreciate you guys for tuning in for my yapping. Smash that thumbs up, subscribe, you don't miss. Although as of right now, this is Yapper's only series. And remember, you are worthy, you matter. Until next time, peace.